Imagine a world beyond reality. Here's a fact that might blow your mind. By 2025, the global virtual reality market is expected to exceed $100 billion. Yep, what was once confined to science fiction is now revolutionizing our lives. But what is VR, really? At its core, it's the art of fooling your senses. With artificial inputs, VR convinces your brain that you're somewhere else, flying over glittering skyscrapers or swimming alongside whales. Curious about how this all began? I bet 99% of people have no clue about the dreamers and breakthroughs that brought VR to life. Let's unravel its fascinating history and imagine where it might take us next. A new dimension of possibilities. Have you ever slipped on a VR headset and felt like you stepped into another world? Picture this. You're walking on a sunlit beach, the waves responding to your steps, birds scattering as you move. Sounds magical, right? But did you know that our obsession with creating immersive experiences dates back 30,000 years? Ancient cave paintings were humanity's first attempt at storytelling. And by the 1830s, devices like the stereoscope introduced 3D visuals. Here's the kicker. The same stereoscopic principles are still used in VR today. Crazy how far we've come, isn't it? The dreamers who started it all. The journey of VR began with dreamers like Morton Heilig, the father of virtual reality. In 1962, he created the Sensorama, an immersive machine that combined visuals, sound, and even smells to transport users to another world. Imagine riding a virtual motorcycle and feeling the wind on your face or the aroma of street food. It must have felt like stepping into a dream. 6 years later, in 1968, Sutherland introduced the world's first VR headset, the Sword of Damocles. Sure, it looked more like a medieval torture device hanging from the ceiling, but it laid the foundation for everything we use today. The 1970s introduced another leap forward with Myron Kruger's concept of artificial reality. His projects, like VideoPlace, didn't require headsets but allowed users to interact with digital environments projected onto walls. These visionary projects laid the foundation for interactivity in VR. Who knew these trailblazers would turn imagination into reality? The 80s and 90s, when VR went mainstream, think VR became cool recently? Think again. By the 1980s, VR was already making waves. Movies like Tron sparked public imagination, while NASA and Atari began exploring VR for training and gaming. Here's a fun fact. Jaron Lanier, the guy who coined the term virtual reality, also invented the data glove and iPhone in the late 80s. These tools let users touch and interact with 3D worlds, a huge leap forward. Fast forward to the 1990s and VR started popping up in arcades with systems like virtuality machines and Nintendo's Virtual Boy. Sure, they were clunky and expensive, but they paved the way for today's sleek and powerful headsets. This era also witnessed VR's foray into simulation, with military flight training using immersive cockpit displays. Where will VR take us next? From prehistoric art to futuristic headsets, VR has always been about one thing: breaking the boundaries of reality. Today, it's not just about games, it's transforming education, healthcare, and even social interactions. So what's next? Will VR just mimic reality, or could it help us create new ones? One thing's for sure, it's going to be one heck of a ride. What do you think? Are you ready to step into the future? Stay tuned for what's next. This is just the beginning. In upcoming videos, we'll explore how VR and AR are revolutionizing industries, transforming education and healthcare, tackling challenges, and reshaping the gaming world. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't miss this thrilling journey into the future.